We reshaped our garden rows this year, and that left us with one question. What mulch should we actually be using? For years, we used wood chips, mostly on our pathways. They're easy to get from tree crews, they look nice, but here's what we learned. They don't stop weeds nearly as well as people think. You spread them out, everything looks great for a month or so, and then the weeds start pushing right through. So this year, we decided to test a bunch of different mulches. Some we've already used, some completely new, to see what actually works, what's overrated, and which combination we'll be sticking with from now on. One material in particular completely changed how we're mulching our gardens. Mulch does a lot more than make a garden tidy. It holds moisture in the soil, keeps roots cooler during hot weather, and obviously cuts down on the amount of weeding you have to do. If you've watched garden videos for any length of time, you, like me, have probably heard the advice to use free arborist wood chips. I've even recommended this in the past because they build soil, encourage fungal life, and they're usually easy to find. All of this is true, but there's one downside that doesn't get mentioned very often. Wood chips leave a lot of little gaps between them, and enough light gets through those gaps so that weeds can still germinate. One thing to mention before we get started. If we've learned anything over the years, it's that the best mulch is usually more mulch. Whatever material you choose, it breaks down faster than you'd expect. So you'll always need a thicker layer than you think. So let's start talking about the pathways, because we treat them a little bit differently than the garden beds. So again, wood chips. They have been our go-to for years. They're free, they look clean, and improve the soil over time. But for weed suppression, they're trash. The weeds can just grow right through those gaps. Here's what actually works. Straw does a much better job because it settles into a dense mat that blocks light and smothers weeds much more effectively. The downside to straw is that depending on where you live, it isn't always easy to find, and sometimes it's surprisingly expensive. Grass clippings work in a similar way. They produce the same kind of a mat, but they're free, and they add nutrients as they decompose. The challenge is simply volume. It takes a lot more grass clippings than most people realize to cover even a small pathway. And one thing worth mentioning, we don't use fresh grass clippings around our vegetable plants. They can release a lot of nitrogen as they break down. And the same composting process that fries the weeds in the pathways, a good thing, will do the same thing to tender young plants, a bad thing. So we prefer keeping them on the paths only. For the garden beds, we've experimented with several different materials. Pine shavings have worked well for us. You'll sometimes hear that they tie up nitrogen as they decompose. And that's true right where the decomposition is happening. But if you're feeding your plants regularly, you shouldn't notice much of a problem. Another thing to mention about pine shavings is they break down really fast, so you'll probably have to reapply them quicker than you think. Leaves is another favorite, probably the best. We shred them with a mower first, which makes it easier for them to spread, and it helps it mat together like the straw or the grass clippings. The only catch is planning ahead. A huge pile of leaves in the fall turns into a surprisingly small pile by spring, so you'll need to collect a lot more than you think. Now there's the material that impressed us the most this year. Paper mulch. A friend gave us a roll of it at the beginning of the season. It's biodegradable, it blocks light incredibly well, and it's fast and easy to install. Just roll it out, cut it to length, and you're done. And honestly, cardboard gives you the same benefits. My wife supplies us with plenty of Amazon boxes to work with. So if you've got a stack of shipping boxes sitting around, they'll work just fine. What works the best, and is truly a game changer, is combining cardboard or paper with another mulch. Lay the cardboard or paper down in a pathway, Then cover it with wood chips, straw, leaves, whatever you want. Now you've completely blocked the light out, and you're still getting the benefits of an organic mulch breaking down into the soil. There are a few materials I'd skip altogether. Plastic landscape fabric might seem like a long-term solution, but eventually it starts breaking apart. It only lasts about a season or two. Years later, you're still pulling pieces of broken plastic out of your garden, and that's not something I want to deal with. Hay is another one. People often confuse hay and straw, but hay contains tons of seeds. So instead of preventing weeds, you're introducing even more. And finally, grass pathways. This has become a growing trend lately because they look nice at first and that seems easy to maintain. But grass spreads. Grass is a rhizome and it will creep under your beds. Also, you won't be able to reshape your beds easily in the future because you'd have to dig your way through a pile of roots. After trying all of these, here's a system we'll probably stick with. A layer of paper or cardboard underneath and straw on top for the pathways, and shredded leaves for the actual garden beds. The paper blocks the light, the mulch keeps everything in place, and over time it breaks down and improves the soil. Finally, it's worth repeating that if there's one lesson we've learned through all of this, it's this. Whatever mulch you use more of it. Organic mulch disappears faster than you expect. Worms, fungus, soil microbes are constantly breaking it down, so a layer that looks thick today may seem pretty thin or completely gone by the end of the season. One thing we're really happy about this year is that we got to experiment with a variety of mulches and see what actually works. Not just in theory, but in a real garden. If you found something that works really well for you, let us know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're using. And if you're curious to see how this holds up over the season, subscribe and check back in a few months to see how it's all working.